Hey everyone, we're back with another box opening today. I also have a box that I'm selling, so I'll be showing a couple different boxes today. Before we get into that, I want to go into first thanking everybody for liking and subscribing to the channel. I have been seeing a growth in the channel as of the last month or so, and we're on a good trajectory. I do still have my goal to reach my 4,000 hours of watch time so that I can get monetized. It turns out until I do that, I will be making no money on the channel. It'll probably take like a year with this trajectory, but I think we're on our path, and if I get monetized within a year, I'll be happy. But if you could please like this video, it helps the YouTube algorithm. When YouTube pushes my videos, they get the clicks, they get the watch time, and I'm quite happy with that. So I just need them to really hit that algorithm and go viral. So if you can, please hit the like button. Also, I want to thank you guys for now putting comments in my video. I'm seeing more comments, especially around what types of videos you want to see. It is seeming to back up my two big video types, which are my limited draft videos for Dominaria United strategy. People seem to like that, as well as I'm getting comments as for these box openings. So I have no plans to get rid of doing the box openings and some MTG finance videos along with that. It's not common for people to have channels where they open so many boxes. I do think I am one of the most common buyers of boxes, having a pretty big collection and selling it. So I want to just share that with you. I enjoy doing that. So you can see all these vintage boxes. It's not every day you get to see a lot of these rare items. I will say there are some other channels that are doing that as well. Obviously, there's Rudy with Alpha Investments. He's the biggest out there, and he's just clearly rich and has a ton of Magic cards that he stores in. In fact, when Drew and I did our exchange of collection, we kind of joked about, we wonder if all those boxes are just empty, but I don't think so. And then I also want to give a shout out to a few other channels. I really like the guys over at MTG North. You guys are doing great content with MTG Finance and also box openings, and I just really enjoy your channel, so I just want to give you a shout out as well. If you haven't and you're watching this, go subscribe to their channel. They got a lot of really good Magic content. And I also like MTG Moxman as well. He does some good content on the MTG Finance side and showing trends on things. So if you haven't, give those channels a like and a follow. And I do want to talk a little bit about the state of the market today as well before we get into actually opening and showing what I bought and what I sold. Across all the channels, in fact, pretty much everywhere I'm hearing in the news, that Magic boxes are not buying and selling as frequently anymore. The volume is rather low. And I will say I also agree with this consensus. While I still do have daily transactions, especially for the Fallen Empires packs, Homelands packs, cheaper booster packs like that, 4th, 5th edition, things like that. I do see less boxes being sold by me and by everybody else. Now, there's the occasional collection dump. Kid Icarus recently did a big one. Card House in the EU does pushes of big collections from time to time. But there hasn't been a whole lot else for sale. And interesting enough, I've been wanting to go on a buying spree after I did some bigger sales a few months back. I have the money to be buying more collections, but I can't find them. It's harder to find opportunities to buy right now. And I think the idea here is that people have kind of gone into the woodworks. They've been holding back, saying, okay, I'm not going to even try to sell if the market isn't buying these right now. Let's wait until Christmas time and I'll release all my boxes then, or let's wait to see if we actually are going into recession or not. If not, people will come out with their money and be more likely to buy. So I think that's what's going on. Magic has always had these kind of trends. Sometimes these cycles are very short, like you'll just notice a month of like not as much activity, and then it comes right back up and people are all of a sudden the first of the month paychecks come and people are buying. So it's hard to predict, but I do want to second what I've heard. And it's interesting, it's not just the vintage market. I kind of figured that would be limited more to vintage MTG market and boxes, and I've heard it's also happening for Dominaria United, where I thought that'd be a banger product. I absolutely love it for Limited. It's one of the best. If you don't play Draft with Dominaria United, I highly recommend it. It's extremely fun. It's one of the best sets ever produced for Limited. And yeah, I'm not going to say it's the best all time, but it's up there. It's definitely top 5 that I've ever played, probably top 3. And I will be sad to see it go when we come around and go to the Brothers War. Don't get me wrong, I'll be excited the Brothers War is coming out, but I don't think I'll feel I have drafted it enough that I'm ready to move on to the next set. Let's put it that way. But I will say I have not kept my ear to the ground on what's happening in Standard, what's happening in Constructed in general, and I will admit what makes Limited good is the commons and uncommons, and the rares are less important, right? That's why I separated in the draft videos the rares out separately. But I will say the rares do not seem as powerful, which I'm fine with because I'd rather not have a bomb completely destroy my strategy because I did not get that bomb and my opponent did, right? But I imagine it's not as good for Constructed because the rares do not seem as good. Now, I don't know, maybe there's some banger deck out there with some of those rares that's happening, so again, I haven't kept my ear to the ground. But I imagine that might be playing into the sales of Dominaria United as well. We just had Double Masters, and that was a banger set with a lot of great cards in it. And maybe, people's wallets are a little lighter right now, and they don't want to spend the money on it. But I've noticed that sentiment is also happening with Vintage MTG, I will say. But I do think every year, right around Christmas time, it really starts up in November and then goes through to December and then into January, February, all in that winter period. Almost every year, sales go up, you see more opportunities to buy, etc. So I just want to say, if you're having a hard time selling your product and you want to get it off your hands, feel free to reach out to me, ManaTutorMTG@gmail.com. I do buy slightly above what Rudy has. My expenses are lower than his. I will probably pay right around 65% to 70% of the last sold. You take the average of the last 3 sold of your product on eBay, and that's about what I would be able to pay. I do have some expenses where I have to pay to keep my product locked up in a vault, so I have storage costs, but I do not have a storefront that I try to keep up and have that overhead or employees or anything like that. So with all that, I'm able to operate on some thinner margins. I do not have the volume or the notoriety that Rudy has, and I know some people, YouTubers have called Rudy out for, paying so little for product and trying to make a return on his investment. I don't demonize trying to make a buck. Seriously, everyone's trying to make a buck here and there. It's all about, don't be somebody who just rips people off, right? You want to be able to have repeat customers, and I will say it's somewhere near 50% of all my transactions happen from repeat customers. So you want to have happy customers, and it's just not worth trying to make every little cent off everyone, but you do want to make a profit. If you don't, that's not the point here. You also want to enjoy it, right? Like, don't get into Magic investing just for the money, because it is somewhat time intensive, and you do need to know the product. You need to know what you're buying, market trends, things like that. So only get into it if you're interested, but if you are interested, there's no harm in trying to make a buck. So anyway, I'm going to first, actually, let's just go over what I'm selling. And it's a little bit more unique. So this is a Scourge, but this is, as you'll notice, theme decks. This is not starter or tournament pack decks. This is theme decks. And sealed theme deck boxes, well, you know exactly what's in here, every single card, right? Each one's a theme deck that has its deck list posted online. And sometimes you wonder, like, who is buying these? And I find there's kind of several different types of people that buy this. There are The people that buy this as a collector, that keep it and just want to kind of more store it for their museum that they're building, right? They want to have a collection of all the different kinds of product that they had back in their day, including the theme decks, because they started out with them when they were younger, or they remember playing them, and they just want to keep this sealed in their collection. Let me set that down. You also have the people who are looking to buy it because you can get this cheaper than if you bought each one of the decks individually. They'll crack it, they will open it, and they will sell the individual sealed packs that are inside here at a profit. And I think that's likely what I'm dealing with. I haven't checked the prices of the individual packs within here recently, but I will say I had 2 people reaching out to me within the last month interested in buying this, and it was just this theme deck box, and I have many different theme deck boxes. So that kind of indicates to me I likely didn't have 2 people that were interested in Scourge, just for their own collection reaching out to me. It's probably the case that I'm selling this fairly cheaply compared to the decks that are inside, and they're looking to buy this, crack it open, and make some extra money. I don't want to sell it all individually. I'd rather just get this all, sold within one deal, so I'm not cracking it open. In fact, I even have a second one of these, and I still don't plan to crack that one open. So that's who I think I'm selling to. There are people that want to crack it open and have some spare decks to play down the line because they haven't played them in a long time, right? So there are people that actually want to use the cards inside. They're great for reliving the days of your youth, right? Like, having kind of pre-constructed decks makes it easy. You don't need to go out and build your own deck, invest in a bunch of different cards. Just buy a pre-made deck of your cards from back in the day and play with them. And that's kind of what we did in our Jumpstart video, I don't know, a month or so back. It was probably like 2 months ago now at this point, where we, cracked open some cards, just played with friends, and we didn't have to worry about deck building or drafting or any of that stuff. Even though we all enjoy that, it was just simpler to crack 2 packs, mix them, smash them together, and play. So these are good for that as well. In fact, I brought some Mirrodin, Darksteel, and a few other theme decks with me to that game in case we wanted to play that afterwards. But we got into Commander, and that was a long game, which was incredibly fun. And that basically between Jumpstart and Commander, we spent our night. So anyways, just want to kind of say what these theme decks are good for. I do not recommend investing in these. Like I said, they kind of have a niche buyer. While I do have some, and I actually have quite a few of these different theme deck boxes, they take longer to sell, and who knows if the price is really going to go up over time. They don't have that gambler's, premium of you could open up something really rare inside because you already know what's in there. So if you're just looking to kind of venture into investing in boxes, theme decks would probably not be the way to go. But they are fun, and they're not horrible if you get a good deal on them. So, selling that. Interestingly, the people that had reached out were both international at this, so there might be some arbitrage happening as well. The international market is valuing this more than the US market, which happens sometimes. Another thing to keep your eyes on when you're doing investing. But yeah. So, anyway, that's going out, being sold, and I have a box that I'm opening here today. I wonder if I just don't want to spend the time to, timestamp all my videos. If people want to go ahead and I think you can comment with the timestamps and I'll put it in for you. Feel free to. I just want to give you some commentary before I open up these boxes, so I'm not just opening up the boxes and that's it. But if I'm wasting your time, I don't mind if people timestamp this stuff and jump right to what you want to watch. The watch time does help my algorithm, so I do appreciate you watching it all the way through. Alright, we got the little balls of packing styrofoam, which makes it a little harder to get to for the opening. Let's see if I can just kind of reach on in here. Alright, we have another World Wake box. So we opened up one of these a couple weeks ago. I do think it's a bit undervalued right now. mint condition World Wake box. Looks good. Let me put that aside. We do have another box in here. And it's a different one. I'm not sure if I've ever opened this up on camera. We have Fifth Dawn, part of that Mirrodin Dark Steel cycle. Just like seeing all the different sides, making sure it all looks good. Yeah. So I have a few Fifth Dawn boxes now. I think I've talked about the Mirrodin block quite a bit because it is the second most powerful block of all time in Magic, considered by many. I mean, you know, it's obviously a debatable subject, but Urza's, which have I showed any of my Urza's boxes on this channel? I have not. I think I need to start, when I'm selling items, I can pick out any items I want from my vault, and I might just take home a few boxes of some of my rarer boxes to show you guys. I have the entire Urza's block. I have collector's edition stuff. I showed my unlimited starter decks. I have a ton of revised starter decks I can show. Most blocks, most sets I have. When you start getting into like the really old stuff, like I don't have booster boxes of antiquities and all that, legends, then we're getting a little high in the price range there. But Urza's block is just pretty. I should probably take those out and show you guys the Urza's block. Yeah, let me know in the comments, is there any particular set that you want to see? You can just, you know, request it. Or if you really want to be sure you're requesting something I have, take a look at my links in the comments. I have my inventory posted on eBay and on TCG Player. So eBay lets me list more of my product. I'm only level 3 seller on TCG Player. I only started about 2 months ago. I'm quickly getting up to close to their highest level 4. So once I get there, I can list all my inventory on there, but they limit you to a certain number of dollars you can have up for sale at any time until you reach their level 4 seller rating. So just because I'm new, I'm limited on how much I can sell there. But eBay lets me list whatever I want, and check me out and let me know what boxes you want to see. Happy to go through how I acquired any particular box, what my plans are for it, or really anything else you want to see. So let me know where you want to take this, and I'll let you go there. Thanks so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.